That's an interesting question. What do you think about that? Do you hate losing more or do you love winning more?
I think I hate losing.
I get
I
that.
think, like, I don't even know. Like, it's just like something about losing. Because, like, if I win and I like add a little time, I'm like, okay, like, whatever. But, like, if I lose and drop time, I'm like fuming. Like, I'm so mad. Like, it just brings out like another side of me, and it's I don't even
Yeah.
know where it comes from, honestly.
Well, where we aim to highlight inspiring people doing amazing things in the Swim Strong family and in the greater swim community. I'm here with Sarah Rodrigues, and I am fired up to jump right into her story. She's done some crazy, inspiring things over the course of her career, especially over the last few years, and I am going to dive all into that. But before we do that, Sarah, we got to do our rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's make it happen. First question. Who is your favorite celebrity that you would want to spend a day with?
Ooh. I had to think. Probably Zendaya.
Okay, that's a good choice. How about your favorite cartoon character?
Yeah, I need to think. There's so many. Probably SpongeBob. I'll go with the classic.
Hey, that's a good one. That was one of mine too, for sure. How about your favorite candy?
My favorite candy is Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yes, especially. Have you had the eggs ones, the peanut butter eggs?
No, I have not. Those are too much peanut butter for me.
Really?
I like the thin ones. The thin ones are so good. And they just came out with like the fruit ones where there's like strawberries and bananas inside. I
In a
want to try those
Reese's?
really bad. Yeah, it's like
What?
it's like in the frozen food section. It's like frozen strawberries covered in chocolate.
I have not heard of that. I need to try it.
Yeah, you
It's
do.
very interesting. All right, next question. What is your favorite pool that you've ever swam at? Racing. Like, what's your favorite pool to race at?
Honestly, the GCIT pool where MOCs was. I always do so good in that pool.
The Meet of Champions for people who don't know New Jersey. That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right. Next question. If you were not a swimmer, what sport would you be doing?
I'd be doing basketball.
Basketball. Do you know what position you'd be playing?
I have no clue. My mom grew up playing basketball, so probably whatever she did is what I would be doing.
What is your favorite event to race?
Oh, to race? Honestly, probably the 2 free right now. I love racing the 2 free. It's pretty fun.
How about your least favorite event?
Ooh, anything breaststroke.
just don't. And last but not least, what's your favorite thing about Swim Strong Dryland?
I think my favorite thing about Swim Strong is like the community that we have, because as someone that like always goes to meets alone, like having people from Swim Strong there is always just like it gives like such like big team energy, because like everyone, like even if like they don't know you, like everyone cheers for you if they know you're in Swim Strong. So like the community is just like insane.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Sarah, you did great with the rapid fire questions. Well done. Now we'll jump into your story. So tell everyone, how did Sarah Rodrigues decide to swim in the first place, and what made you fall in love with this sport?
So I started swimming when I was younger because like I always like loved the water, and like I would always like want to go in like by myself, and I didn't really like know how to swim. So like, my mom was like, okay, we're gonna put her in lessons just so like she knows how to swim, and like because like I would do sports like year round, and so like there was like a little like break in winter where I had like literally nothing to do. So my mom put me in swim lessons, and my coach like saw me in the pool, and he like went up to my mom and was like, you should put is that your daughter? You should put her on the team. And my coach, like Vlad, like has been coaching me since I was 7. And like, he's like a very like old school, like really thick Ukrainian accent. And so like my mom literally like laughed in his face because she thought he was joking. Because like my mom was ready to jump in and save me because she thought I was drowning. And so like she was like, "Oh, like maybe in the future, like let her get through her lessons first, and then maybe we'll put her on the team." So like to this day, like no one knows like what he saw and what I was doing because he won't tell us. And so the following winter, he put me on the team, and I just like never stopped. So.
What made you love it when you started doing swim team? You went from swim lessons and just loving the water to like training for swimming. Obviously, training as a young age group athlete is a lot different than training you do now. But when you joined the swim team, did you just love every moment of it? Or was there a time where you're like, oh, I love this sport?
It was probably so I started swimming when I was like 7 turning 8 because like I have a winter birthday, and like at the time I was still doing like every other sport imaginable. And so I kept doing that until I was about like 10 years old. And then I got like good at swimming on accident because like my dad this one summer like misunderstood like practice signups. So like I would do an hour with the non-competitive group and then go 2 hours with the competitive group, which was all like the teenagers, like all the older kids, and I would just be like in the back of the lane like trying to keep up. So like for that whole summer I would literally swim 3 hours a day every single
Wow.
day. So like my times just started like insanely dropping, and then I was like, "Oh, like I'm kind of good at this." And then I like slowly like started like quitting other sports because I was like, I can't do this. I have to go to swim. Like I want to go to swim. I have to go to swim. And then eventually like I quit basketball, which was a really tough one for my mom. And I was like, "Mom, like my mom signed me up for basketball. I went to like one practice. It wasn't even the first practice. It was like the third basketball practice I went. And then I was just like, I can't do this. Like I'd rather be swimming. Like I have a meet this weekend. Like I need to focus." And so I just like decided to stick with it because I just loved it.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And when you decided to do that, what age were you when you're like, hey, I'm just focusing on swimming?
I was probably like just turned like 11.
Wow. So you're young. You're really young, and you're like, you
Yeah.
knew what you wanted at that age, and you're like, this is what I want, and I'm going to do it. That's pretty
Yeah.
rare for someone to really have that type of fire. And so from having that at a young age up until now, have you just seen that continue to develop? Is it something that's been challenging at different periods in your career, or has it just been something that every year you feel like you have more and more fire for the sport?
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely like some points like during like my career where I've noticed like lack of motivation, but like I feel like that just happens to everyone, especially like when you're like not seeing the results like you want to see sometimes. Like I had like a really hard time this year like finding the motivation to like keep going, and like thank God like I talked it over with my coach and like we figured out like what was going on. And like I think like that happens to everyone though. Like it's like hard, especially like when you do it for so long. Like I've been swimming for like 10 years now, and like sometimes the motivation is just not there. And so, I think as long as like you just like work on it and like like this is like just like remember why you love the sport is just
Yeah.
like so important, and like remembering like why you wanted to do it. And I think like that's like what helped me like kind of get back to where I wanted to be for the season.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's something that everybody needs to take to heart for sure, is remembering your why. It's so easy to forget, especially when you get caught up in the day-to-day, everything you do. And when your mindset is always focused on swimming and it's something you love and it's something you're passionate about, it's still easy if it becomes like the only focus, or you start to focus just on the times or just on the cuts or just on the results. It can really suck your joy away, as opposed to just like, I just love being in the water, like you were talking about when you're younger. I just want to be in the water, even if I don't know how to swim. I just want to be in the water, and I want to be at swim practice, and I want to be at a swim meet. So, but that's such a phenomenal mindset to be able to be in tune with what's going on with you. I think that's important. People don't to recognize like when, hey, I think I'm losing my passion right now. Why? What's going on? Take a step back, think about it, and do the hard work of continuing to fall in love with the sport at each stage of your development, because it always looks different. And you have a hyper competitive mindset, which I love. I have a specific memory of just you doing a really good job in a 2IM at YMCA Nationals, and you dropped so much time in prelims and you did really good at night, but you didn't do as good as he wanted at night, and you were on the podium just so mad. Your face, I was like, Sarah took a picture of you, and you were like, it's just not having it. I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite pictures. Can you talk a little bit about where that comes from? Your mindset. That something you've always had since you were little? Is it something you developed since you started getting good? What's that been like for you?
Yeah, I think I definitely always have had that. From when I was little, like, I was so competitive, like, for nothing. Like, I would be competitive with my dad playing checkers. Like, it was just, like I think because like, both my parents were, like, athletes is just something I, like, inherited. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was just so competitive always. Like, I always wanted to win. Like, I always wanted to do my best. Like, I always wanted to, like, PR, like, drop time. Like, I remember when I was little, once in a while, it still happens, like, if I added, like, 0.01, I'd be, like, sobbing, like, crying, like, actually, like, having full-on panic attacks on the pool deck, like, actually so upset, and my coach would literally be like, "What is wrong with you? Like, what are you doing?" Like, I don't know. Like, there's just something inside of me that, like, I need to win. Like, Eric,
Mm-hmm.
I have to show you this picture from MOCs when I lost the 2 free. It was so I wasn't even like, cause I dropped, like, 0.5, but, like, I wanted to win,
Yeah.
obviously, cause like, I dropped 3.5 seconds. I wanted to win so
Yeah, you did great.
and, like, basically, it was part 2 of the picture to why Nats.
I gotta see it. You gotta send it to me.
Like, I need to find it. Like, it was
That's
actually like, you just zoom in on me because I'm, like, the girl, like, that got first is, like, congrats to her. She's standing on the podium, and her whole team, like, screams when they announce her name, and it's me, like, looking at the camera like,
like,
it was
no.
so bad. And they
That's so funny.
posted it. I was like,
So the first time I saw that, I can't wait to see this picture. The first time, we'll get it on there. We'll get Sean to post it here on the podcast when we get the actual recording out. I knew what type of competitor you were already, but then I really knew. And and definitely I love it because you're like not happy with anything except being the best. And also, that means you have to guard yourself because it can make you not enjoy the process sometimes. And so finding that balance is not easy. But that is the type of mindset that all the greats have. They're like, yeah, I did good. Everybody's happy. Like, I wanted to win. like, I hate losing. I don't know if the greats hate losing more or love winning. But that's an interesting question. What do you think about that? Do you hate losing more or do you love winning more?
I think I hate losing.
I get
I
that.
think, like, I don't even know. Like, it's just, like, something about losing. Cause like, if I win and I, like, add a little time, I'm like, "Okay, like, whatever." But, like, if I lose and drop time, I'm, like, fuming. Like, I'm so mad. Like, it just brings out, like, another side of me, and it's I don't even
Yeah.
know where it comes from, honestly.
So talk about that competitive fire and what you've done over time, because obviously you've grown in that since being younger, but it's still something that fuels you and it's a good thing. But then talk about the balance of like, so you get second place at state, but you drop 3.5 seconds and you're pissed on the podium. But then what do you do after? Like, what do you do mentally to like feel yourself after? Because obviously you can't stay there. And it's like, it's fine. Whatever emotions you feel in the moment is fine. I hate it when people are like, don't feel that way. Just be happy. It's like, Sarah's not going to be happy. I know
Yeah.
she's not going to be happy. So it's fine. But what about after? Because that's the most important thing. What do you do with those emotions? And have you, do you have a specific way that you process those or a certain time frame you allow yourself to be mad about something? I know a lot of people set timers and they're like, I'm allowed to be upset for X amount of time and then I'm moving forward. Or what do you do when you're in that mindset and situation to learn and grow and move on?
Honestly, like, over the years, we've kind of discovered that I swim better when I'm mad. So, I kinda learned how to, like, channel that energy into, like, my next race or, like, practice that week or, like, the next meet because it just fuels, like, such a fire in me that I'm
Mhm.
like, "That's never gonna happen again." I'm gonna win next time, like, next time it's my turn to win.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just really important. Like, obviously it's not going to work for everyone, but I think because like I said, when I was younger, like I was a crier, like cried over everything. And so I think it's like I learned how to like channel that energy into like more motivation and then just
Yeah.
like getting like angry before my race. And I think that honestly is like what I've improved on the most.
Yeah.
And it's just like I've just seen such a difference in it with like my races and like practices and everything. Like my coach, if I'm like slacking in practice, like he'll like yell out like a specific race that I lost in or that I didn't do as good as I wanted, and then I just like it just like flips a switch in my brain, and I just like
There are definitely certain people that so you have to I think it's important for everybody watching to understand that everybody ticks differently. And there's no right way to do something. Like there's certainly wrong ways to do things, but there's no like, oh, this is the right way. And there are definitely people who I love when I know something's going to make you mad, but it's going to fuel you. For sure. I have keywords or memories or things that will push. I mean, even Sean is a perfect example, was exactly like that when he lost nationals by .02. And that was my favorite phrase to say to him in training for, and even now, 10 years, 12 years, whatever it is later. And so I love that. I totally understand that mindset. I was always fueled in the same way. I was never happy unless I was the best. But never stayed there and let myself wallow in my grief, right? So what you're doing is a mental skill to take that frustration of like, I wanted to win, and then putting that back into your training, right? And you're saying, I'm going to win next time. And even if you don't, you're going to do the exact same thing over again. And then eventually you're probably going to win. If anybody, I know you really well, you're probably going to end up winning at everything you're doing because that's just the mindset and capability that you have. That's a tough mindset to stop. If I was racing you, I would be scared of you. That's something that you know, people, if they knew how much you want it and how hard you work, then they should be scared. Racing Sarah Rodrigues, like that's just, you have that fire that's just like, oh boy, this girl's gonna catch me. If she doesn't beat me now, she's probably gonna beat me later. So you better have a strong mindset if you're racing against Sarah. That's all I'll say. And I freaking love it. But it is important to be able to channel that in a really positive way, and how you utilize that is important. So there's just a big difference between sitting in anger and just letting it like eat you up versus letting it fuel you. And so that's awesome. Is that something that you have? How did you go from being what you refer to as like a crier when you're younger to like channeling it? Was there anything specific like that you did over time that helped you develop that mindset?
I think like my coach like really helped me get there because he was like he basically said to me like you're getting too old for this. Like people cannot see you crying on the pool deck anymore. Like it's just you're done. Like you can't do it anymore. And then also my dad a lot. Like my dad would always say like get angry, get mad, like use it for the next one. Like you're fine. Like don't cry. Like just like internalize it and like use it for the next one. And I think over time that's just like immediately like where my brain went when I was done. And so it helps a lot too with like just like keeping like your emotions in balance, because it's really hard to go from sobbing to trying to be like all happy and like ready to go like right before your race. So like it's a lot easier to transition.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's kind of exhausting to cry too on the pool. Like you kind of zaps your energy and puts you in a different mindset. So you found a way to pick a different emotion and let that fuel you. And so I think that's a really good thing I mean, there's a lot of people who struggle with that. So you know, whatever that is for people out there, whether it's setting a timer, forgetting about it, moving on, whether it's using it as frustration to fuel you for your next race, or you know, everybody responds differently. So knowing yourself, I think, is really important, and that's something that you've obviously grown a lot in. You talked about your parents and your coaches. Can you talk about some of the biggest inspirations in your swimming journey, people you've really looked up to or that have had a big impact on your swim career or life?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like my parents and my coaches like have been there for me since the beginning, like putting in like time, money, effort, like sacrificing their weekends to like drive me to practice, drive me here, drive me there. So like I'm so grateful for them for that. But like I think my main like source of inspiration, like especially when I was younger, was like my brother,
Hmm.
because he has special needs. So like when I was younger, like my parents would always tell you God gave you a gift that he didn't give your brother. So like when you swim for him.
Hmm.
So I think like especially when I was younger, like that was such like a big part of like why I was doing it. So I just like I think he's like my main source of inspiration because it's like I don't want to like take it for granted, especially
Yeah.
because like as like athletes we have like such a short time frame to get so much done. And so I just like it kind of just like reminds me to like make the most like out of every practice, out of every workout, after every meet. Like there's just some people that can't ever like do that or like won't ever like get to have that feeling. So I just think that was like a really big part in like my development.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What's your brother's name?
Andy.
Andy. Shout out Andy. Let's go. That's
Mhm.
amazing. Yeah, I've putting things into perspective, and everybody has gifts, right? And everybody has talents and things that they're gifted with, but not everybody uses them. And a lot of people, like you mentioned, do take them for granted. Um, and whatever that may be, swimming or school or kindness or whatever, there's all kinds of different ways in which people can change the world. But I do think it is sad to see people waste gifts, and to have an awesome relationship with your brother and to be inspired by Andy and to be fueled in a different way. That's a lot more meaningful than just like times. It's like you have a bigger purpose, people you really care about, who you're doing this for, and that you're motivated by. And so that's really, really cool. Um, can you talk about how you made the decision to go to Texas? I see that big Texas banner right behind you.
Sure.
You got your Longhorns up there. So can you talk a little bit about that process for you and why you chose Texas?
Yeah. So I think my process was a little different than majority of people because I was like the first year. Obviously, that they were like, you can go on as many as you want. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do five. Go wherever you want. So I visited 7 schools, which I was told I was crazy for many times. Um, but yeah, I mean, my like recruitment with Texas was actually like really odd because I had 6 visits set, and then I think I had maybe like 2 visits left or one left, and then they basically called me and they were like, just come out like 24 hours, like we'll make it really quick. Like I literally got off the plane, went to a football game with the team. Like it was just like instant. Like and the girls there were like so amazing. Like they made me feel like so at home. Like the team is just like insane. And then I basically just went to a football game. We got food, like did a campus tour, and I like finally on my 7th visit, I finally like got that feeling I was looking for. Like this is home. Like I was there and I was like motivated. Like I was already like, oh, like I'm swimming for Texas. Like we're winning. Like I'm here. Like this is where I belong. So I think like just like hold out and like wait for that feeling because honestly, like I didn't even know if I was gonna go on the visit, and my coach basically told me like, "Go, like you'll regret it if you don't go."
Hmm.
And so at that time, my like training was a little off. I was doing like 6 visits in a row, so I was swimming like 3 days a week. So I like went on the visit, and it's just like it. Like I just got like this like feeling like in my chest, and I was like this is where I'm meant to be. And I literally called my mom when I was at the airport going home, and I was like, this is it. Like I'm like
Hmm.
this is where I belong.
That's awesome. Really, really cool. And what advice would you give to someone who's going through, considering that you went through all that and it was obviously challenging? It's challenging for anyone. You have to give yourself grace, like training wise. Like it's just not going to be as good during college visits. It's not, and that's perfectly okay because you're trying to make a huge decision for your life, and so you can't beat yourself up around that. And maybe you have advice around that. But what advice would you give to someone going through the process who maybe um was in a similar situation to you where you're just like, God, I'm just not sure yet, and you know other people were telling you like, hey, that's a lot of visits, or whatever. What would your advice be to someone who's about to go through the same process that you just did, looking back? If you're like, if I knew this, if 1 year ago Sarah knew this, my experience would have been a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, I think honestly just like trusting your process. Like you don't have to do what everyone else is doing. Like, because I knew from the beginning, like I'm a really like indecisive person. Like I need to see everything. Like I need to be there. Like I need to experience everything hands on to like know like that's like what I meant to do. So like I think honestly just like obviously like take advice from people, but also like trust yourself and like trust your own process. Cause I started like second guessing myself, like how many visits I was going on and trying to like limit the list and like putting myself through all this stress. And honestly, like I don't regret it at all. Like when I was going on my visits, like I had like the most fun in my life going on those visits. Like it was so much fun. Like you'll never get that experience back ever. And, like, honestly, I wish I could go back and do it all again because it was so much fun. Like, you meet so many new people, like, so many friends. Like, I have, like, a ton of friends now, like, across the country.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think just, like, trusting yourself and knowing, like, you're gonna do what's best for you. And sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. Like, if you feel like your training's taking a hit and you don't wanna go on any more visits, then that's perfectly fine. But I think it's just, like, knowing yourself and trusting your process.
Yeah, that's good. Being able to know yourself and do what's best for you, not worry about what everybody else says and what is best for everybody else. I think that's true. Even in swimming, like that's a great lesson for like when you're racing against people who are. I hear this all the time. People get into these big meets or they go to Olympic trials and they're against people who are Olympians and they're like, "Whoa, I don't belong here." And then they start second guess or they see someone on deck doing some dynamic warm up that they've never done before and they're like, I need to change what I'm doing or I need to do this or I need to, and you just become unsure of yourself because of other people. You should never become unsure of yourself because of other people. Like trust your journey and your process. I think that's some really solid advice. So listen to Sarah, everybody. Uh, so outside of that, I do want to ask you about one more topic. So it's been such a joy to coach you through the Swim Strong Dryland small group team. I love getting to go to meets that you're at and screaming for you. We've been to the elite camp together and just had I feel even though it's from a distance, right? It's virtual small group program. You're doing it on your own, but I still get to be your dryland coach, so to speak, and follow the journey. And what a joy that's been. Can you talk a little about your experience with the small group team so people know what that's all about? I think a lot of times people they see what some people are doing in Swim Strong Dryland and think there's like some magic fairy dust that just makes you fast. And while there are many Swim Strong athletes doing incredible things, there's a reason behind it. It's not just because they signed up. There's a ton of work that goes into it. And I wonder if you could just share your experience and what have been some of the most beneficial things for you or eye-opening things for you that have challenged you and helped you grow to the next level.
Yeah, I think like obviously like swim strong, like you're gonna get stronger. Like that's the point. But like honestly, I think swim strong helped me the most like in my mindset and like getting into like the routine of like knowing like, okay, like you're gonna go swim and then you're gonna go work out. Like those are like the things you need to do. And I think it's just like the mindset and the routine. It just like helps keep you so motivated, especially because like there's been so many like days where like, you know, like your friends like go out after practice or like your like friends back home are doing something after practice. And it's just like, I think it just helps you like realize like what's important to you and like what your goals are. Cause like while like, yeah, like go hang out with your friends, but it's also like you know what like you need to do to help you achieve your goals. And like swim strong's like gonna help you get there. Like it's like the mindset of like knowing what you need to do to like accomplish your goals and not like making excuses and like not cheating yourself. So I think honestly that's like where it's helped me the most.
That's awesome. Yeah, the mental aspect is huge. And you can hear, I mean, even anybody listening can hear your mindset and how disciplined you are with it. But that is true. Like people always say they want something and then their actions just show that they really don't.
Yeah.
And so if you really want something, everybody's going to know. You don't even have to say it. You don't even have to say it because you can just look at your life and your time and how you spend all of that. And so that's what's been inspiring to me has been your mindset and your discipline. And on top of that, to be honest, even more than anything, is your just care for other people too. You're a really good teammate. So even though you're hyper competitive, even though you're a crazy hard worker and like you can get in your zone, you also really care about the other people who are a part of the Swim Strong family. And one of my favorite photos I've ever posted was when you got when you were helping Leah out of the pool after was it 2 back? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. At Junior Nats. And you know, you really wanted to, you love winning. Everybody, if you're listening to this podcast, you know that. And but in that moment, like you saw her, Leah, exhausted after crushing a swim, and you had just crushed a swim, and I think you guys were 1-2. Is that right, or 1-3, something like that? You're both on the podium.
No, I got fourth.
Oh, you're fourth. Oh, you're off the podium. So you're even more mad. So you're fuming. So you're fuming, and you go over to her lane and help her out, and you guys are like walking together. And so while you have that crazy competitive mindset, you also have this deep connection and care for people. What do you think about, like, how does being a good teammate, even if they're not on your club team, they're just in the Swim Strong program or whatever, somebody you met on a visit or someone you're friends with, how does being a good teammate and caring for somebody else, do you feel like add to your swim journey? Because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people be like, I'm not happy for this person. I'm certainly not going to help somebody out when I'm mad that I didn't get what I wanted. And you're just the opposite of that.
Yeah, I think like I just like don't like get the point of like not being there for someone. Like because everyone goes through things, like you never know what anyone's going through, and it's like when you're there for someone, like it just like it like forms like such like a bond and like a connection, and it's just like Leah, like I know like I could tell Leah like anything in the world and like she would be there for me for it, and it's just like being a good teammate also, it's like you create like a positive atmosphere on like the pool deck. It's like everyone does better. Like when you're negative, it's just like brings like the whole room down, and it's like yeah, like I very obviously could have just like walked off the deck like everyone else did after the 2 back, but like she's my friend, you know, and like girl was struggling to get out of the pool. Like, she was sitting there like this with her hands on the wall for like a good 2 minutes, and I was like, you got it, Leah, you got it, you can get out, you got it. And like it's just like it's so much better to swim happy, even like if you're not happy with your results, like be happy for someone else, because like positivity is positivity, and it's like it's gonna help you in the future.
Yeah, that's a tough balance. And so it's funny to hear because obviously you have the self-drive frustration with your own results, and yet you can come and step outside of that and can help somebody and take joy in somebody else's joy and empathize with somebody in different situations. And that is something that is missing, in my opinion, in a lot of people's lives in the sport of swimming, is like the joy of friendships, the joy of competition, and being a part of other people's journeys. And that mindset, I have no doubt, combined with your competitive fire, has been what has helped make you great. Because other people make you better, right? And you're
Yeah,
talking to like
exactly.
use Leah as an example. Leah's a beast. Leah is like such a great person to like push yourself with and to compete against. And so is Sarah Rodrigues. And so like anybody who makes friends with you is smart to do so. Like it's just you want to be friends with people who have that mindset and who are going to make you great. And that's something I think about all the time, is like sometimes what holds you back is the people you decide to spend time with.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
so I mean, is that something you've done? Do you feel like you've done a great job of surrounding yourself with people who are like, they're gonna make me better, and I don't have time really for the other toxic stuff?
Yeah, I think it definitely helps. Like being friends with like Leah, I think alone has just made me such a better swimmer, because like we do the same events. So like it's like being friends with her, it's like I know her mindset, like I know how hard she works, like so it kind of just like it's like obviously not like compare myself, but it's like I like want to be like her. Like I want to push myself to be like as great as she is. And it's like especially on like my team, I feel like if you are that person that like is making other people better, like that's who I kind of try to be on my team. Like
Mm.
I kind of like I try to like keep like my friends on track, like because it's like I'll be there for you if you're there for me. Like me and my friend just joined Swim Strong, like she just got off onboarding, and it's like we like made like a deal with each other. It's like we're gonna do this every single day after practice, and if we skip, then like we like make something up that we have to do. It's like we're not skipping, like we're doing this the way we're supposed to do it, because like that's what's gonna make you great. And so I think that surrounding yourself with like people who have the same mindset as you and like want to do well, like even if they're not like on the same like level as you, it's like a mindset is a mindset. Like everyone's capabilities are different, but it's like your attitude towards it that like really counts.
Yeah. I'm on this big kick and convinced that the best talent you can possibly have is the way you think about yourself, your mindset, essentially. And that's a talent that people can choose to have. You can develop it. It's a skill that you can develop. And so it's not something that you're just like, obviously some people have a stronger mindset than others naturally, but you can develop it still. You're not just like, oh, I have a good mindset or a bad mindset. I'm just born to be someone who chokes when it really matters, or born to be clutch. Like, no, you can develop that, and it starts with the mindset. So love hearing that, especially the mentality of coming together with a teammate and you guys like, we're doing this. Like, this is what when we're doing it, and you know why you're doing it. You're like, we want to be great. We want to be great. And I want to have the feeling of being on that top podium and doing the things that I know I'm capable of doing. And I don't want to get in my own way. I want to give myself every opportunity I can to be great and push my limits. And so that's incredible. That's really good insight. It's the idea of like, if you have a rising tide, everybody gets better, right? Some people think if I help this person who's my competition, then like I don't want to help them get better, and that like you can both get better together, and you don't have to fear helping somebody else. And actually, there's a lot of joy in that, because when the person you've been working with is getting better, even if they beat you, you can still be extremely happy for them, and you're going to be a whole lot better off for it too. And I just think that's something that people miss. Like, rise together. Like, you don't have to pull people down to make yourself better, to spread. I never understood that mindset.
Yeah.
And a lot of people struggle with that. So thanks for sharing that. Well, Sarah, it has been awesome having you on the podcast here. Thanks for sharing your story and so much insight in a lot of different ways. I love getting to coach you and from the dryland perspective, and I have no idea what your limits are, and I don't think we're ever going to find out. I think you're just going to keep doing new things, and we're never going to put any type of barrier on you, because sky's the limit for you. So keep getting after it. Thanks for all you're doing, inspiring so many people, not just myself, but so many people in the program. And thanks for coming on the podcast.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
You got it. We'll see you. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch a new episode each Monday. You can also check us out on social media at SwimStrong Dryland. If you would like to join the SwimStrong family, visit our website at swimstrongdryland.com.